Hey, let's do a dog video. It's been a while since I've done a Dalu vlog, so let's get into it. Low key today started at 12 a.m. Like it started because the other day didn't finish until like 3 a.m. So there's a future. We're still trying to test out the API thing, the same stuff I talked about in the last episode about feeling behind when it comes to implementing those features. But I was working on that and trying it out to like maybe 2, 3 a.m. And then from there, I had a coding project due today, so I worked on that. Trying to get like the basics done, just because I didn't want to. I didn't because it's due at 11:59 today, so I didn't want to run into a big error or something, a big problem that I would have to spend like multiple hours on. I would just really have time in the day because of stuff I'm going to talk about later. So from there, went to bed. Actually woke up on time somehow, and then went to my class on time. Like I went to class so on time that I actually got my seat that someone keeps on stealing from me. So that was a really nice feeling. Thank Lord that was just cause I slept at like 5 or 4 a.m. I thought I was just gonna be passed off like the whole morning. But after that, did a check in my research boss about some stuff I cannot talk about really. And after that, had my RA interview. And honestly, I think that went well for the most part. Initially, I had my RD, but then we saw, okay, I guess you can't have your RD as your interviewee. So I had another RD interview me, and that was really nice. I think I got to talk about a lot of experiences. I think maybe I pushed a bit too much on just like doing a bunch of stuff. I know I talked about like entrepreneurship and startups a lot. I do think they were impressed the first time I brought it up. So I was wondering if they got tired because I think because one of the advice I got from one of the artists of Sutherland yesterday was basically elaborate, and that's something I tried to do. I also used the STAR method, the situation, task, action, result framing of my answers. Some answers I did slip up, but I think I kept that consistent for most of them. Um, I got to talk about just a bunch of different stuff. I know in the question section, I think I did well. Because in the question section, I asked some stuff I was curious about their experiences, but I also asked stuff I was curious about my other roles. So I know for the diversity, equity, and inclusion board section of the student government board, we're trying to see how we can make basically look into like building spaces for international students and stuff like that. And the RD mentioned how in her dorm that she I guess resides and looks over. They have international students or people on non-guaranteed houses. So I brought up that and asked them like what their thoughts on it is and if they have any advice. So questions like that where I could show my participation in different roles and just give them a better idea of who I am. The one place where I do think I slept up though was there was a DEI question, right, at diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the question was like, name a time on your team you've advocated for inclusion. And my thing was, I knew there was going to be a DI question like that, but I just didn't know. I know it was going to be framed like that per se, right? I thought it was going to be like, what's your thoughts on diversity, equity, and inclusion? How can you bring more diversity, equity, and inclusion to being an RA? So when they asked me that question, I actually had a hard time because I didn't know. Because I'll tell you what I said to them. To be honest, a lot of the teams I've worked on, I've been fortunate, especially this semester, have been very diverse and have been very inclusive, right? So the advocacy I would be doing would be less advocacy and more brainstorming. Because when I think of advocacy, I think maybe this might be a bad way to think about it, but like when I think about advocacy, I think about like going against something. So like if I'm advocating for something, that means there's some sort of pushback no matter like the measure of it. So that was a question I struggled with. I was really just like, I didn't know what to say because like, really I've just been in a really good position, but I think with the other ways I answered the question, I think they kind of gathered a sense of how I would bring that how I bring diversity, equity, and inclusion to my role as an RA. So I think that overall, I think it went well. I heard that I have the RA who was grading my interviewee is more lenient when it comes to grades. And we hope it wasn't too strict because I know like I kind of like elaborated about more than I elaborated too long, which I'm doing with this. But anyways, after my RA interview, I had another research meeting with the research team. So that was good, which was really cool. Then grabbed lunch, then I had class. And after class, I had a Tech for Good our club meeting today. We had a panel of different PhD students and just researchers and to talk about their experience in research and responsible technology, and just getting like giving insight into that. I think it's something that I'm considering more and more. I think research is definitely something that's really fun, but I think I want to enter more of the private sector first, like just try get like having a job and seeing at least getting experience first before I try and pursue a PhD. Then after that came or worked on the project, which was basic. I don't even know what it was, to be honest. So it was just like I was working with 2D arrays and just a bunch of stuff. But worked on that. We have an automatic grade assessor, which like basically helps a lot because I don't have to like submit and know that I have more clarity on what's working and what's not working. So after a while, thank God that it worked out, and I got a 10 out of 11. There were two issues. One was with it was like this prev item, wherever it was, basic, and the other one was frequency. It was just like to get the frequency of something in the data structure. Those two issues, I just decided it's not worth it pursuing because I had other stuff to do, which I'll get into in a second. But overall, I'm just happy because we were I was gonna fit. Like I really started this thing at 12 a.m. to be fair, or 3 a.m. Yeah, I started this thing at 3 a.m. today, so I'm happy I got finished. Then after that, I had the Sutherland Candygram event, and it went well. A bunch of people did Candygrams. I think it was 200 plus, to be honest, which I think is one of our biggest numbers so far, out of 700 people, just like in terms of participation. That was really good. And we also, because this Candygram thing was meant to be to raise money for PDM, Pit Dance Marathon, they are raising money for hospitals who help kids who are sick, so things stuff like cancer and other diseases. They do, I believe, research that's helping just making the hospital a better experience for them. So that was really awesome. I think also not that's a competition, but I think right now we are the #1 residence hall. If my like in terms of who's raised the most money, I think we're the #1 residence hall if my math is correct. But yeah, that went well. I think it was really just awesome to see like how many people participated. It's like really nice notes. There were some people who got a lot of notes. I was like, dang, but I think that was nice. I think it was cool just seeing people be happy with it and just people like be excited to see it. I think my favorite part was actually I think it was on floor 4 giving out the Candygrams and having the residents actually help me with it. I think that's something that I really love about leadership is that's never really a lone wolf thing. It's more so it just with every leadership position or anything I've done, it's just getting help from the people around me, which is something I really do love. But yeah, so after this, I think I'm gonna try to take a break, eat some food, drink some water, or ginger ale or something, and then take a break, watch like Invincible, and then get back to work because there are stuff to be done. So we have to keep on pushing forward onto those stuff I done. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.